there's some very important information that we would like to make you aware of. And what this is about something called acrylamides. Now, acrylamides is a chemical that is created in milk and particularly in baby formula. And today, the amount of acrylamides in baby formula is 30 times what was allowed in 1946. And the reason for this is they are pasteurizing milk at higher and higher temperatures. Today they're pasteurizing milk. It's called UHT, ultra high temperature pasteurization, and it is about 200 degrees Celsius. And what happens at these temperatures are that certain proteins, various ones, will join with certain amino acids, various ones. So they create a whole bunch of different acrylamides. And acrylamides are carcinogenic. There's a very reputable source who has a bill in the Canadian Parliament to limit this, and this has been kicking around the Canadian Parliament for about 7 years now. I believe it's had second reading, and it's still waiting and waiting to get third reading. Anyway, this material, she says, will cause cancer in all children between the ages of 13 and 20 if they are raised exclusively on baby formula. So this is very important. Breastfeed your child or make other arrangements, because these materials that you are buying that you are being told are safe are not safe. And there has been, if they were safe, why would they be allowing 30 times the material in the milk when in 1946 the research concluded and the rule was made based on research from the 20s and 30s? Very simple. Why are they getting away with this today? Well, money talks, right? But something you need to know, because you guys will be raising children and you want to keep them healthy and safe. Thank you.
I just don't think baby formula is good, like it's ever been good, because, you know, the perfect food for a growing body is mother's breast milk, of course.
Absolutely.
You know, of course, we're all so I don't want to say contaminated, but, you know, there's chemtrails, and there's a lot of, what is it, jet fuel found in breast milk, you know, of course, but it's still better than, you know, all of these acrylamides.
One of the things that's found a lot, and I don't know, it's talked about occasionally, is when you purchase furniture for your house, you buy your house, it has wood in it and so on, there's all kinds of coatings that are supposed to be reduce the flammability of these materials. All right, these coatings are severely carcinogenic materials to prevent flammability. So these coatings are put on furniture, they're put on clothes, they're put on all sorts of things. They're put on carpeting, they're put on upholstery, all sorts of things. And these are called, they generally call them fire retardants. So it's something else, be aware of. Have a look at the stuff. There's certain kinds, if you buy natural furnitures, like wood and so on like that, again, you want to be concerned with what it's been finished with and coatings and what have you. Because a lot of these materials are coated with fire retardant. For example, if you move into a new house and you buy new carpets and all the rest of it, the house will emit formaldehyde gas for about 5 years. Because of the materials, as the glue and the particle board that's in the cabinets and in the woodwork and in the doors and in the trim. That will gas off for about 5 years. You buy new carpeting, that will also gas off formaldehyde gas for around about 5 years. Now, being aware of these things is good. There's certain little things that you can do. I mean, you have to live somewhere, you have to have furniture. But for example, in a room the size that we're in right now, which is probably about 10 by 13, you can hang up 1 or 2 spider plants, because spider plants have an amazing capacity to absorb formaldehyde gas from the air. So you don't want to move into a new house, put a new crib, put your new baby in the new crib with all this stuff gassing off. Simple little things like hanging up formaldehyde absorbing spider plants, you know. They look nice, they're pleasant, and they'll do the work.
Yeah.
You know, so there's lots of little things like this that can be done. But again, you just need to be aware that there's a problem, and a little bit of investigation you can find. There's probably other plants that do this as well, but I've never had the chance to look into it. But you know, certain things that you need to know. One thing that we looked into in Germany and Sweden, they were doing some tests recently, and they were injecting indium sulfate, that's INDIUM, into Alzheimer's patients, and they were finding significant jumps forward in cognizance and memory. So I started to research indium, and what I found was a few things. First of all, in people in Canada, the United States, 25 years of age, there is virtually no detectable indium whatsoever. Indium occurs worldwide in about the same amounts as silver, and it's very widely dispersed, but it's primarily used in electronics and engineering and what have you, mostly electrical related materials. The only foods that seem to have any measurable amounts of indium are aquatic, like kelp and dulse. But there's but there's very, most people inland don't eat this at all, and even on the coasts they don't eat it very often. However, what our research come up with, one of the things we found is that indium is available in seawater. It constitutes 0.2 parts per million. So one of the ormuses that we work with, we concentrate the precipitate to about 8 times the level that's available from the direct seawater ormus from, from the Pacific Ocean. But by concentrating this 8 times, we are hoping that we have about 1.6 parts per million of indium in the ormus. So hopefully this can start to build our supply up. Another reason we found that we may not have indium is that indium has a particular affinity for fluoride, and so much of the water is fluoridated in North America and probably other places as well. We know 5% of the dry weight of the human brain and nervous system is made up of materials in the ormic state. We don't know how many of which ones, but we know that it's part of them. We know there's gold, rhodium, and iridium are very important.
Yeah. So have you worked with people who, or actually sold the ormus to people who have had Alzheimer's or any kind of neurological disorder?
We've had several people manage to get off antidepressants. One has occurred a few times as a drug called Wellbutrin, and we've had a few people that have managed to wean themselves off of that. We have a couple of people that have managed to wean themselves off another drug called Paxil. You got to research some of these drugs. Paxil was developed in the 1930s by the Nazis for crowd control. And then it was renamed a couple of times by a large, what was it? It was a Danish company that got the rights to produce it from the German company, and they renamed it. It was originally classified as a psychedelic drug, but they managed to reclassify. They reclassified it, got rid of the psychedelic rating, and they reclassified it as something else. And then they started to market it under the name of Paxil back in the early 60s. So it's been around a long time. People that I've run into that have been taking this over a period of time, they seem to have their problems. I think probably more of them over time buy the drug rather than their necessity to have the drug. But, it's early stages, and who am I? But anyway, we observe patterns, and we try to collect the information we can back from patterns. And you guys are interested in getting involved in learning this stuff, take pictures, before and after pictures, document before and after situations, and try and do this and try and stay with this, because we need more and more feedback. We are not going to get this feedback from the powers that be because they don't even admit this stuff exists.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, we need to be working together. I mean, the more we work together, the more we will accomplish. So.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm curious if we got, group of people, maybe not together, but just gave people who have autism, being, diagnosed with autism or Alzheimer's or anything like that, if we gave them Ormus, what that would do. I think since it knows what to do, it's kind of like you give your body what it needs. If it would help to reconnect things, and I guess there's no studies that have really been done, not too many testimonials, because the stuff just isn't really out there.
No,
it
takes a long time for this information to get out. Hopefully with Leia's website, this is going to get a few more people interested. And again, there's a lot of things out there that we don't know about, and there's a lot of vested interests out there that are concerned with themselves. And we're interested in promoting information and educating people. They are interested in restricting information and turning it into a profit. So, but I think in the long run, all of us, including them, would profit much better by knowing what to do. Because, I mean, the rich people get sick kids too, so that's what it's all about.